What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Jazzy, and I'm back with another video to really touch on something more serious. And I feel like this topic is a very big thing, and it's really reached out to my young ladies, my teenagers, and my young adult females who do live in Milwaukee, who are living. I'm not like just like specifically trying to target just people that live in the 53205, 53206 area code, which is where I live, but more so just generally from every part of the Milwaukee community. And as you guys saw the title, I'm speaking on the topic of prostitution because one day I was driving to work and I saw a significant amount of sex workers, and my heart, I'm not judgmental. I don't judge. I don't be like, oh, that's disgusting, they should be ashamed of themselves. No, my heart goes out to them because a lot of situations come to their lives that motivate them to go into the sex work. And I don't want to see females, I'm personally a female, so I'm looking at it from a female perspective. I don't want to see females have to go into this lifestyle that degrades and belittles women. So based off my knowledge and research and observations, I jotted down some things on this notebook to just kind of, because I just to like motivate my young ladies, my beautiful young Black, Hispanic, white, etc., any ethnic group, to try to avoid going to that lifestyle, because you're worth way more. I know that a lot of women go into this lifestyle because of poverty. They feel like they don't have enough money, coming from low income, they're the breadwinners in their family, they have to make ends meet. And I know like that can feel tough, and you feel like, what, you're questioning yourself, what can I do next? So I need money right away, so let me go into this adult business, this sex working business to earn the quick money. But I understand, yes, I did not come from a rich family. I know how it is to have to work for what you want, have to work for your coins. But there are other ways, because I don't want to see such an amazing creature as in a woman to be belittled and degraded in the lifestyle of sex work. So I'm going to start, I'm a little sick, guys, sorry. I'm going to start with this right here. So a lot of judgmental people say, why do women go into sex work? And there are the answer is so complex. There's so many different reasons that come together, and sometimes, like I said before, it can be poverty. I know you probably feel like, I don't have the money right now. I need to feed my children. I have to take care of my mom. I have to take care of my dad. I have to take care of this and that. I have to make this happen. And you don't come from a rich background. I know that sometimes you feel like, I just don't have the money, but what comes behind that sex work, which I wrote down, and I didn't write this down to judge. I wrote this down because my memory is horrible. I know people come from conditions, certain conditions, and the main condition that a lot of people that go into sex work come from, and if you are a victim to this condition, I pray for you, and I really pray to God that you grow out of that psychological trap and that condition. And that trap is sexual abuse. This is from my researchers, a lot of women that go into sex work have been sexually abused. When you're sexually abused at a young age, because typically it's at a young age, you feel that violation, you feel like you are psychologically trapped to, like, you kind of grow that mindset, this is what I'm worth, like, and that's not true. You're not worth just, some sex. I'm not even sure, just, you're not worth just some sex. So that's one of the main reasons that people grow to feel that this man, this woman, this person violated me at such a young age. It's like, this is what I am worth. And to people that out there who are perverts, you just understand that when you violate somebody like that at a young age, or just at any point, it messes them up mentally, because it brings down their self-esteem. I have never been a victim. I have never been a victim to that, and I'm not gonna play like I am to connect, but I'm saying it because women are worth so much and we're so valuable. When you violate them like that, it causes them to go into this world. It doesn't cause them, but sometimes it puts them in this world of sex work where they are belittled and they are violated and degraded, and they kind of feel this is what I'm supposed to do because you did this to me. So that could be I'm not saying all sex workers are like that, but that could be a reason. I want to go into some of the studies and what I have learned off of observations. So studies have shown that a lot of sex work, and these are for women who have not yet went into sex work, or who maybe thought about it, or just anybody. I just don't want you to go into it, because also sex work comes out to be a health problem. So sex work has expanded so much. Studies have lost track of the specific statistic that shows how much or what percentage of women catch STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, as HIV, AIDS, chlamydia, gonorrhea, etc., based off sex work. But studies have shown that a majority of females, specifically in Milwaukee, because I live within the Milwaukee County. The last study was in 2016. About 45% of the STDs and stuff, a lot of the victims of STDs were sex workers, because a lot of these men, a lot of these clients are dirty, they're sick, they're low-minded, they have a lot of these bad mindsets, and they probably have chose to sleep with different sex workers, and that sex worker or that client may have a disease and they pass it on to you, and then now you're put in this position. It's like, when I have this disease and I can't go give my work out to other men because I'm going to give them that disease, and that cuts back your money. So I guess, and that takes me back to my first point. Yes, the sex work does go into money, but with so many health conditions and things like that can draw away that money just as quickly. So you want to try to avoid going through that, which is because being a sex worker is already draining enough, so then to lose the money from being a sex worker will only make it worse, and I don't want to see any woman go through that. So the cons of sex work, and like I said, I only have the notebook because, one, I did do my research, and then I did do my observations, I did do my personal knowledge, and I do have a really bad memory, and I don't want to like make it seem like, oh, she's just rambling. No, the cons. The disrespect for men. Now, I know a lot of women deal with, if you live in the Milwaukee area, you know men be like, hey ma, hey girl, come here, let me talk to you real quick. And sometimes you might politely say, no, I'm okay, and they'd be like, well, F you, and they make it really, really rude. And we all know that, because I've been a victim to it. I have politely rejected men, and they have disrespected me in the most harmful way, and that's just me walking on a casual day. So when you are a sex worker, a lot of sick men have, not all men, but I'm saying generally the clients have this mentality that I can disrespect her any kind of way because she's selling sex to get money. So you don't want to get disrespected by a man, especially already being in that environment. You don't want to, because this is already a degrading lifestyle. So just getting degraded even more from your clients puts you back in the psychological depressing trap that I don't want to see any woman go through. Next, the kidnapping. Now, kidnapping correlates to sex trafficking, but the kidnappings are, the amount is significant. Like I said, studies have really lost statistics. Like, I think the last study was in 2015, I can remember, and there were probably in Milwaukee over, I believe, 20 to 35 kidnappings that were prostitutes or sex workers, or whatever term you want to use to identify. But most of the sex workers, they've gotten to the car with clients and never came back, because some of those clients, men and women, are sick. They're mentally sick, and they have this mindset that you already live this lifestyle, might as well take advantage of you and make you suffer. My camera died, but as I was saying, so kidnapping was for one, and then STDs, I covered that, and control. So most sex workers do work under what they call a pimp, and the pimp is the dominant, you typically it's a male, but sometimes you do have women who are the dominant person that's over all the sex work, that takes a portion of the money that you make from your client. And typically pimps have this tendency to put sex workers in this psychological trap that they are property and that they basically own you. So along with being disrespected by men already, being degraded by others already, just to get disrespected by your pimp is it's a depressing, hurtful feeling, and you don't want to put yourself in that position. Now let's go to the arrest. Here in Milwaukee, the police brutality is insane, and prostitution is basically illegal in Milwaukee. And the amount of arrests that women that work in sex work experience is very outrageous because it's illegal. So police have the right to arrest you, unfortunately, and it gives you jail time. So when you end up going to prison for prostitution or sex work, whatever you want, whatever term that you want to use, I'm okay with. If you get arrested, then you go to jail. That's time taken away from the money that you were gaining just to have to give a portion to your pimp. And when you get out, sometimes it'll be more difficult, and you probably want to go back to the sex work because jobs won't hire you, and this is a very cool world. Sometimes jobs will not hire you just because they saw you were a prostitute, so you're not fit, and it's a very sad thing to go through, and you don't want to go through it. So to avoid all of these obstacles or all of these issues, I just recommend that sometimes, I know you don't want to work that 9 to 5. You don't want to work there. You don't want to do this. And maybe you don't want to work for somebody as like a legal job with an hourly pay, but it's much more worth it and valuable because you keep that woman's self-respect. You don't have to use your viable, beautiful body to gain a profit. And I'm saying this because I see it, and I know some people personally, and I don't want to see I hate seeing women get degraded. I hate seeing women get judged like that. Where I work now, sex work is it's a high population, and my heart goes out. So if you are a young lady who has been in this mindset, understand that your body is viable. You are viable. You are worth way more than sex work tells you are. So I love you. I love all of my beautiful women, feminine power. I love you all, and I wish you nothing but the best. If you do want to talk to me, if I did offend you, I truly apologize. That is not my intentions. But if you do feel like that I offended you, just please let me know. You guys know my DMs and everything is always open. So I love you guys, and have a nice night.